Hello, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are again. I'm so excited. On Saturday morning live. Thank you for joining me. Okay, just put in my... Okay, welcome. Hi, everyone. Lovely to see you. How amazing. So, welcome. My name is Lisa Jane Myers. I am a psychic medium, and I'm coming to you from my beautiful, I was going to say hometown. No, it's not my hometown. My beautiful little town of Mangawhai in New Zealand. Welcome, welcome. Lovely to see you, Morena, Korua, Morena, Koto. So, yeah, I'm super interested where you are in the world. I'm super curious, so just... Atamariye, hello. Oh my goodness, so good to see you. Yeah, I'm super curious where you are in the world. So just if you feel comfortable, put in the comments there where you're coming in from, because I've seemed to reach all corners of the world, and it's so amazing. I love that about technology. So welcome, welcome. So yeah, I'm a psychic medium. I was born this way, and Norway, how amazing. Wellington, just moved here last week. Oh, that's my hometown. Well, welcome to Wellington. Hi, Justine. Oh, it's so gorgeous to see you all. Thank you for joining. Pukekohe, gorgeous. Yeah, so I'm a psychic medium. In Māori culture, we are called a matakite. Mate means past, means seeing in the past. And so, yeah, so means matakite means seer, means intuitive. Well, healer, because I do bring through, it's not me, I'm just the channel, but I do bring through healing with the help of my guides. So I've been this way since I was young. I've tried to duck and dive and run away from it many times because it's quite intense. It's a lot of responsibility. And just send me some hearts too if this is you as well, if you have pretty intense experience with spirit. I really am wanting to start to create community, if that's you, so that you feel understood. I don't know, and maybe in whatever I'm sharing in my own experiences, if you see me, giving readings for Morena, everyone, good morning everyone that's joining. If you see yourself in me, or if you see yourself in the experiences that I share, or in the way in which I give readings, I try to, I hope that helps you. I really hope that helps you, because hi Ange, my darling friend Ange in Wellington. Hello, lovely. I just hope that you learn something here. I'm really aware of teaching, teaching, and in the Māori way, in the Māori way too, which is with a little bit of laughter, quite a bit of laughter and a bit of depth and a whole lot of heart. Yeah, so that's sort of my style. I've learnt from some pretty amazing people. I studied with a taonga Māori healer in 2019, and that was extraordinary. Mātua Wiramu Nia, and it was really amazing, because for so long I had studied with, because I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up with elders around me, or in fact I was told to keep it quiet. When my girlfriend told me recently, we reconnected, and she saw my website, and she said, hey, I need to let you know, remind you that when you were 9 and we were hanging out, and you'd be in the other room, or in the same room as me, and you'd be chatting away to everyone on the other side. So you've been doing this ever since you were little, except that unfortunately my parents were a little scared, of my abilities, and used to tell me to quieten down, which I completely understand. I'm not, I'm not having a go at them. We were told, they were told, everyone was told to not believe in this, to quieten it down, it was just, I can't, sometimes it actually chokes me up. That's why I am wanting to share my experiences, because oftentimes parents are scared of it, or grandparents or someone in the family is scared of it, unless they've experienced it themselves, or they've had an elder that's been able to support, been able to support that person. So hi Maddie, hi everyone that's joining. Yay, so good to see you. So there's a question here. I would appreciate if you could give some tips on how to develop mediumship. Okay, sure, that's great. Beautiful to see you again. So I'll do my best to bring that through, bring through any ways, any tips, so that you can really start to hone your abilities as well, because that was what I was always looking for. I was always looking for those teachers, those people that could help me and understand me, and tell me that what I was experiencing wasn't weird, that it was normal, that those feelings, those moments when I was just lying in my bed or on my own or out in the bush, and I'd suddenly get a knowing, a download and a knowing about a situation, or I'd feel a grandparent of mine on the other side, or and really trusting that, because souls, Spirit's way of connecting with us is really subtle. Really, I mean, sometimes, as you may have already experienced, or may already know, sometimes I like to come and sit on the other end of the bed, if we've had a dearly departed loved one, pass, and then, they're just trying their best, and then sometimes they can scare us a little and come and sit on the end of the bed. But mostly the communication that they, the ways in which they are trying to communicate with us are really subtle. It can be in the smell of, maybe they were a cigarette smoker, or their clothes smelt a certain way, and then you suddenly are, and it's in those moments, it's in those really quiet moments. I wish I didn't have to wear glasses. I keep adjusting them all the time. They're so annoying. They get blurry and everything. But it's so sorry if I'm fiddling with my, I'm not saying sorry, but it's just really annoying when I'm fiddling with my glasses all the time. But it's in the really subtle ways. Honestly, it's in the most subtle of ways that our deceased loved ones are doing their best to communicate with us. I mean, oftentimes I have to be in quite a deep trance, and quite a deep, I don't necessarily like that word trance, because it can, bring all sorts of, connotations, experiences with us, with it. Thanks for the love hearts. But when I'm in quite a deep meditative space, I will see a movie, be shown a movie of, of someone's experience, and be shown what's happening in their life, or I'll be working with a client, and then their loved one will come through, and they'll show me, it's quite static pictures, photographs, like a static movie reel of say the car that they used to love, or it's kind of like that. But oftentimes about 80% of people experience gut feeling, That's how they receive their messages, by gut feeling. It's not by any great big, clairvoyant, movies like I've just explained, or visions, and often it's not that. More often it is when it's gut feeling. It's gut feeling. Yeah, it's in those moments. So I just want you to just take a few breaths with me. Just take a few breaths with me, eh? I'm just going to take some water. I'm just going to take some water, because sometimes I notice I get really nervous, because I'm just like, I just want to be able to communicate my message, and then I get really nervous, and then I sort of don't breathe. So anyway, yeah, and that's part of too. That's kind of the Māori style. Well, kind of my Māori style of way of doing things is to be. I want to be really relatable, because I loved, I love those. I love those people that I learnt from that were really relatable. They were right there with me, and understood, and shared about their life, and shared about their vulnerabilities, and shared about when they got nervous. I felt more connected to them. I felt much more connected to them, rather than someone who sort of sat up in front of me and seemed really perfect. I much prefer relatable. So let's just join me, okay? Just join me, and let's take a few moments, and just, if you feel comfortable, just closing down your eyes, And what we're going to do is just drop out of our heads. When we drop out of our heads, that mental place, the thinking, which really drop out of our heads and start dropping down into our hearts and down into our bodies. And I know for a lot of people who have experienced a lot of trauma, that can be quite intense. So just go really gently, okay? And by dropping into this space, we start to come into this quiet, safe space. I've said karakia, I've said prayer, yeah, so that you all are held in the space and taken care of, okay? So just closing down your eyes, just taking a few deep breaths. Just noticing anything that's there. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Just quieting down all the mind chatter, maybe letting anything from the day so far go. Maybe from the night time as well, anything in dream time. It could have been a hectic night. Just letting that go. And wherever you are, if you feel comfortable doing this, it's quite good to shift the energy. Just taking a really deep inhale. A really deep inhale, and then a really deep exhale, followed by a big, like a big out breath. It helps shift energy. And then do it again too if you like. It's a really good way of clearing. I really love doing that. I won't do it now. Thanks, Maddie, for sending protection to everyone. Thank you. Jump in with any comments. Okay, so just coming back, just keeping your eyes closed and just coming back to your breath, coming back to being in your body in that really quiet place, okay? And when you're asking about tips and tricks and little tips there for being able to hear your deceased loved ones, for being able to hear spirit. It's being able to just come back into our bodies, come back into that quiet place, being able to clear out some of the noise and just being able to come back to our center. Okay? So just opening your eyes, just coming back. And if you feel comfortable, just putting a little message on our thread here of anything that came through for you or any feelings that you experience. I know this is a public platform, so you don't have to. You can message me if you like. But it's honestly, it's just being able to, the beginning of mediumship is being able to just come back to our own centre, and just quieten all the noise and take care of ourselves first. Yeah. I always had so much noise. That was actually my safety mechanism, and it still is. I still go to that place. My safety mechanism always was, and always as my go-to is busying my mind up with everything, from grocery shopping lists to being concerned about my children, to being concerned about my friends, to just busying up, and then busying myself up with, other people's business, where I'm trying to help, where I really need to just step away for a moment and just go into the quiet. I notice when I'm not hearing my guidance, because it's easy enough for me. That's the crazy thing. It's easy enough for me to be able to do it for others, because when I'm sitting in session or sitting here, I do my best to clear myself, But I notice when I have to sit really quietly with myself, it's really hard. It's really hard to make an effort, because my safety, make an effort to clear my mind, because my safety mechanism, so that I don't hear everything and don't sort of, how do I explain it? Yeah, sometimes it's really overwhelming. I find it's really overwhelming, walking into a room and sense that, knowing it's filled with spirit and deceased loved ones. And so I really have to quieten myself, and also I have to quieten myself and not busy myself up, so that there's kind of all this stuff around me, so then I don't see spirit. I'm not so affected. And what I do, I wasn't taught this until much later on. About how to put protection around myself. And I wished I had been, because that was the reason. That's where I was going with this story. I'm just like, I can see oh my God, I have to laugh at myself. I can see spirit give me, what I want to bring through today. I mean, I have a bit of a loose outline on what I want to bring through, but then I have to sort of put it aside and then let spirit guide me as well. So sometimes I'm like, guys, just keep me on track here. Otherwise, I tend to just go off track, and then I'm like, okay, where am I going with this? So the biggest thing I wished I had learnt early on was knowing how to bring in protection, so that I'm not affected by every single thing that happens, by spirits that, are wanting to come and see me, during the night, and talk to me, or want me to give a message to their loved one. I don't know whether you may experience this, or you go into a room and you just feel really overwhelmed, really overwhelmed with the energy in there. Maybe there's a person on the other side that's there sitting next to you, but you don't quite understand what's happening. You don't quite understand what's happening. That used to happen to me a lot, until I understood protection. So yeah, if in your own way you can say, and I'm not religious, and this is not in any way religious, but if you can say the best word that I can use that goes across languages is prayer, but this is not in any way religious. But if you can, in your own way, say your own prayers, and you don't need anything fancy. You don't need some big fancy pants prayer, that needs to go on for ages. All you need is intention in your heart, and call in and ask. And you don't even need to know who your guides are, or have connected with angels on the other side, or deceased loved ones. You just need to hold that intention in your heart, that ask the universe for protection around you. And then you can do any number of things. You can imagine light, whatever colour. It may be purple, it may be white, it may be blue. And you can bring this band of, this is where I started, really thick light right up around your body and over your head, down underneath your feet, and sweep right around. Okay? And then asking that all love come in. All love can come in, but any negativity. I mean, this is really basic. This is really, really basic. But just ask that any spirit, any unwanted, anything that's of, lower, oh my goodness, I don't like sounding all sort of pseudo-spiritual, and I'm trying to use great terms here, but yeah, anything that's lower vibration, anything that's, anyone that's coming to you from the other side that wants you to pass on, anything that's unkind. Thanks, Maddie. Sometimes I can't quite find the words, and maybe I try too hard. But any unkind, any lower entities, anything, just ask that they are do not come near you. Do not come near me. Do not come near you, and that you have total dominion over your body, your energy field, and really set that intention. And I'm doing it with quite a bit of conviction here, that you, because oftentimes, my experience is that spirit on the other side, people like you and I that do this kind of work, or that are attuned in this way, sensitive, light workers, and so they will do their best to try and come through and get that message to the person that they're, and they don't really care too much about boundaries. Get that message to the person next to you, or the person that you've just met. And so there's got to be some really, and that's the thing, that's where I'm leading with this as well, is boundaries. And I wish I had been learned that, had been told that, had been taught how to do that, all those years ago. It was how to have really great boundaries and how to put protection around myself. Because when you ask about mediumship and any tips, honestly, the place that I always start is good protection, being able to just quieten down your mind and go into that really safe, warm space inside you. Maybe it's a place in nature. Maybe it's in your warm bed. Maybe it's, and what you want to be able to do is know that place in your body. Know that place in your body, so that wherever you are in the world, wherever you are, if you're at work, if things are getting intense at work and you go into the loo, you can just go into that really sacred space within you that's really quiet, and just quieten down. And then being able to call in the protection, call in your protection, and knowing that you have total dominion over your body, and that no one can come in and no one can demand anything of you. Not ever. Yeah. And so that quiet place, protection and boundaries, and knowing where your boundary is. It's like when someone comes up to you and demands something of you, and you know exactly where your boundary is. yeah, my boundary's like right here, right here, right here. You know, there's a great big space. Mine sort of goes right out to arm's length, you know, right around me. And I know where my boundary is, and I can feel it when people, you know. I mean, where's your boundary? Do you know it? Do you feel it? Do you know exactly where it is? Where it, you know, can you feel it? Can you feel it when someone comes in and tries to violate or step over your boundary? It's the exact same thing for spirit, with spirit on the other side. You know, you've got to have really, really healthy boundaries so that you're not at the effect of what others are on the other side are wanting. And I mean, what I really want to say, I know this is getting really serious, but honestly, I keep saying it, but I wish I had known this and had been taught this. So, I mean, I'm sounding really serious, and, you know, it's sounding a bit like that, you know, a lot of spirit on the other side don't have good intentions. And that is not the case, because most of the time it is our dearly departed loved ones who are wanting to reach us, wanting to, you know, wanting us to know that they're here, they're supporting us, they're sending us love, they're sitting in our lounge with us, they are helping us cook. My uncle comes through when I'm driving the car, and or in the house, and prayer, protection, boundaries. Thanks, Justine. That's exactly right. Yeah, but it's those. It's, you know, it's when we are matakite, when we walk the world. You know, when we walk the world, and the veil is thin, and then we are affected by different land that we step on, or into different people's houses, or, you know, going into environments where intense interactions have happened, you know, and we feel and pick up on all the energy, and, you know, what's happened there. You know, what's happened there, and then being at the effect of it, and almost having to come into situations that we, you know, because our bodies end up being like a tuning fork, and like a clearing mechanism, you know, where we go into spaces and then we clear them up energetically by nature of who we are. So, yeah, thank you. Prayer, protection, boundaries. You can always say you are not ready yet, and thank them for coming through. Show kindness and ask for protection. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I love it. This is what I wanted to create. You know, this is what I want to create every week. I mean, I really do want to give readings, and I will be doing that, but I want to create community here. So, yeah, honestly, because so many of you know me so well. And you know me so well, so you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's really great. Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, because yeah, okay, so let's just take a breath here. Yeah, and oftentimes I find it when I'm on this, doing these lives, that when I work one-on-one, I go at a really slow, deep pace, and I'm just on audio, so I can go really slow, but it's quite, you know, and so there can be big pauses, but it's quite different being on the live, because I'm really aware of it being visual, so that I can't have too many pauses in there, and just which is interesting, because for me on my one-on-one sessions, it's actually in the pauses where the most happens, and where the most healing comes through, and guidance too, and guidance for the other person as well. Because when I sit one-on-one with clients, when I sit, I mean, I sit with them in session. You know, they can be on the other side of the world. I really am honouring them as intuitive, as seer, as matakete, as medium. I mean, deeply honouring who they are already. So allowing for those spaces, you know, for those pauses where their own guidance can come through, their own knowing. You know, it's not about giving the fish. It's about, you know, it's about us fishing together and learning together, you know, and you know, in some way that I can, in any way that I can support. I don't like this whole, you know, gosh, it's just about to cuss then, this whole, I was thinking about that last night, about I just don't swear on these lives, which is wonderful. But yeah, sometimes I swear because I just love swearing. It's just really great, you know. Just sometimes it's just so good. It's so expressive. Yeah, like just really. It's just so important, you know. It's just so important to really honour the you know, the person, the person that I'm sitting with. They're exactly the same as me. You know, they're exactly the same as me. They're on the same exact journey, wanting to learn, wanting to understand. You know, you're laughing. It's funny, and you know, I just can't stand this whole guru. This whole, I was going to say BS, but yeah, this whole guru BS. You know, and the thing is, it's, you know, we all have our own divine, unique connection to spirit, to the divine, you know. And I get so mad about this whole guru thing. I'm going to get really really charged up now, you know. This whole guru thing, it's like, don't, you know, it's not about, get it girl, get it, yeah. You know, it's not about handing your power over to someone who's, you know, someone, or to a teacher or to a spiritual teacher. And, you know, I see so much of that and I just get so annoyed, you know. It's about being able to, you know, awhi, to be able to support, to be able to awhi and support and sit alongside, you know, and be with you guys, and I don't know, just in my own way, however I can, support you and having your divine, you know, and your own divine connection. Not, you know, not you getting it through me, or not you getting it through any guru, you finding your own way, you know. It's just, and yeah, and especially, I'm going to go on I'm going to go on a whole rant now. I'm not though, but you know, and especially for women, you know, we're I mean, things are changing, which is great, but for so long we've been, you know, told to hand over our power, to, you know, it's a whole, gosh, I have to keep stopping myself from swearing, you know, handing over our power, the whole patriarchal system, which is to hand our power over, and then, you know, hand our power over to husbands, or to pastors, or to, you know, or to spiritual gurus. It's like, no more. We are our own, you know, our own sovereign beings, and being able to have our own direct connection, you know. And so that's why, you know, it's just so important just to not hand our power over, coming back to ourselves, coming back to the quiet, just being able to, thank you, Maddie. Thank you, darling Maddie. Oh my goodness, I love Maddie here. Women are the backbone of society. Yeah, and tomorrow is Mother's Day. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, and I'm starting to feel quite emotional. Sovereignty, yes. Oh my goodness, guys, this is so amazing. This is what I wanted. This is what I've always wanted, as community. I'm getting quite emotional now, because fuck yes, you know, I'm just having a wee quiet moment here. Like a wee tonguey, a few tears. Where did I brought my tissues out this week. Where are they? Oh, here they are. You know, and it's Mother's Day tomorrow. And do you know what I'm going to be spending this afternoon doing? I've got quite a few hoodies. I love hanging out in hoodies. And a few of them have been gifted by my girls. I love wearing my children's clothes. And it's just a strange way that I have of connecting with them. And I saw it somewhere on the internet recently, and it said, oh, now I'm going to forget. It said, Oh, that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. So with a black, because I often draw mandalas and things. So this afternoon, I'm going to be like that. So this afternoon, this old hoodie that I've got, I'm going to do a little test. Oh, and that seems kind of appropriate, eh? Nurture the seed and it will blossom. That pretty much is the kaupapa, that pretty much is where I'm working from today, eh? And all the sharing. So, anyway, this afternoon I'm going to be sitting here on this exact same table, and I'm going to get my hoodie out, and I'm going to put some material underneath it, and write across the top, strong as a mother, strong as a mother. Yeah, because for me, and also, I don't want to, I don't even understand the whole gender thing. I don't even understand the whole gender, because for me it is just so, I don't even understand it, so I won't even go down. I won't even go down that path, But I just didn't want to be excluding anyone who hasn't been a mother, or who is, identifies as masculine here, or he. Yeah, but I just. Yeah, there's something about strong as a mother. So I'm going to be writing that. So I'll share it later on in my story. So yeah. But yeah, I really want to be bringing back, I've been doing that, trying to do that myself, bringing back. It just makes me. This makes me quite divine masculine and divine feminine are not about gender. Yeah, Maddie. Oh my goodness, you're way beyond you're way before your time. You're such a beautiful young man. Sending love and light to everyone, especially all mothers out there. Thanks, Maddie. It's so gorgeous having just drop in any comments here, any thoughts, any wisdom that comes through for you. This is not about me sitting here preaching or anything. I really, my biggest intention is creating community, and really having your own version of matakite. And matakite does have gender, but really it's it's sitting with you. It's sitting with you here, and birthing through, bringing through your version of matakite, which looks different to mine. Different. We're all unique and different versions of that, and just being able to sit with you and and no judgment, loving and kind community. Absolutely. Okay. So so if you'd like a reading with me, I can see there's a few people waiting. Thank you for your patience. I am very much guided by my ancestors, and also too, just before I bring anyone in, oftentimes I need to just have a little bit of a shake and just let some energy pass through me. If you know me, and you've hung out with me, you know that I need to like to move a lot, because so much energy and energy comes through me and spirit comes through me, that I often need to sort of move and clear and move and clear and let things come through me. So what was I going to say about protection, about so I'm really having to be. Yeah, that's right. They've just brought me back to what I was going to say, because the message that kept coming through last week was, how do I feel my ancestors? How do I feel my guides? How do I feel my dearly departed loved ones, what I want you to know is the place to start is just call on them. Honestly, you know, do everything that I've just spoken about in terms of karakia, which means prayer, you know, with intention, bring in the protection, and then going into your beautiful, quiet place, and then honestly calling on your guides, calling on, if you have an affinity for fairies, you know, nature fairies, if you have an affinity for angels, if you feel like it's your deceased loved ones that you want to hear from, if it's your ancestors, if you have a connection to your tupuna, your ancestors, just choose what you feel most comfortable with and call them in. And honestly, do it 24/7. Do it every minute. Don't just do it when things are getting intense. Call on them all the time to come in really, really closely. And I do know that sometimes that can be hard for people to believe and call, you know, believe and call on, because of, you know, there can be religious, you know, have been, you know, maybe you've been brought up in a religious household, and then you've wanted to pull right away from that. So the notion of prayer and of calling in support can be really challenging. So just do what feels right for you. Maybe it's your connection with the sea. Maybe it's your connection with the trees. Maybe it's your connection with the plants. Maybe it's your connection with the flowers, which mine is really strong. Maybe it's the medicine. Just do it in your own way, but call on them, and call on them, and call on them all day, every day, honestly, that they'll be right there, and it'll be in those quiet moments that you feel them, or when you're doing the dishes, or when you're driving. You know, you might feel your grandmother's presence, and it can be just so subtle, you know, and it's honestly, it's in those, it's really, really subtle, because they don't want to scare us. They don't want to scare us or come in with some, you know, some big impact and scare us, because, you know, then it creates this big gap again. So it's just in those really quiet times. So just noticing, maybe you smell your grandmother, or, you know, you smell your friend who's passed away. Maybe it was a perfume that they wore, maybe it was the way they smelt, or maybe you hear in your ear. These are the different ways that we can get guidance. You hear in your ear a tune, maybe a tune, a song that you both loved, or a familiar tune, and you can feel it in your tummy, or you can feel it in your you just have this gut feeling, or the sudden knowing that it's them. You know, you're making your dinner, and then just suddenly you know, and it's honestly, it's in those moments. Please trust that. Don't discount those. Just trust it and bring them into your heart, and then say again, okay, Nana, was that really you? Like, honestly, was that really you that I just felt, you know, brush the back of my head with your hand? Was that really you in the night? You know, when you wake up out of, you know, you're just coming out of dream time, or just slowly waking up, and our dreams come back to us, and you know, just gently, and you're like, I'm sure my nana visited me. I'm sure my father visited me in my dreams last night. Couldn't have been. No, honestly, it's a visitation. Don't discount that. And if you're not feeling sure, just say to them, okay, Dad, was that really you that came last night in the dream and sat with me and comforted me? Was that really Was that really you? And if it was, please, can you just come back? Can you come back again? Can you show me a sign? Give me a sign. And honestly, it's not, in my experience, I always used to want these really big, grandiose sort of signs and, from loved ones and from spirits and from angels when I was first learning how to connect. And it was often not that. It was just really, really subtle. So just ask, please come back, please come back and reassure me that it was you. Or, if you want to come back into dream time, just come and just come really gently. Don't scare me. Just come really gently and sit with me, because I just love to know it's you. I'd love to know that it's you. I'd absolutely love to know that it's you. And I really need you to shore me up. And I just need a sign. I just need a sign, please. Okay, so just keep asking. Just keep asking. And yeah, I've had a few times where I've asked, and then they've given me a bit of a dunk on the head. It's like, okay, what are you not understanding? Because I wanted these big, grandiose sort of signs. Okay, so Justine, okay, beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's so gorgeous having you all here. Okay, Justine, I've been calling in my tupuna, which means ancestors, and I had my first vivid dream of one of my kuia, which is grandmother. It was so beautiful. Wow, I love that. Yeah, that's the thing though. They will be doing anything they can, absolutely anything they can, to communicate with you, with us. Yay, I love that. Thank you for sharing that here. Okay, now, Hokianga. Okay, our tupuna are with us all the time. I used to be scared of them as a child. But now I know they are just wanting to let us know they are protecting us. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your beautiful message. That's exactly right. They're wanting to protect us all the time. Thank you thanks for sharing that here. I love this. This is what I've always wanted, is community, and you all sharing your own experiences. What else was I going to say to that? Yeah, so please share away, because you help, you help Afi, you help support everyone that's listening, you help me, you help us all. I was going to say something about what you just shared then, helping to protect us. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Permission. And they just want our permission to. They want our permission to be able to step in. When we ask and give us guidance, give us, because we have our own free will. So they want to be able to just, have your permission. And so calling on them to bring in guidance and protection. Wow, Justine, how beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Yay, I'm loving this. I don't like when spirits show up and want me to deliver a message to their loved one that is very skeptical. I feel like I'm crossing a boundary by delivering the message. Yeah, okay. Yeah, really good. Such a good point there, because and that's thank you for thanks for sharing that here, because that has been my experience when I've had a really pushy a person on the other side who's passed, who's just really, and that's the thing, oftentimes people, the way they were on when they were here is the way they are on the other side. And so we have to have really strong boundaries. So some people get really pushy on the other side. And that's why having said karakia, prayer of protection, and then knowing exactly where our boundary is, knowing exactly where it is, so that we know where our boundaries are is really important, so that we can just say, no. I've been in so many situations where I've been really, really pushed by someone on the other side, because they know that I do this work, and that they know that I'm matakite, and then they're just pushing me. Honestly, like I even almost now can feel it. It's been quite physical. Like they'll sort of do anything, to come in and get through to their loved one, either that's sitting beside me or sitting in a group, or is even across on another table at a cafe. Really important to have good boundaries, and just say no. I mean, I experienced that recently. I was sitting in my te reo in my Māori language class, and luckily all my friends there know me because I'm learning my own language, but that's a whole nother story, because it was shut down, and my relations and ancestors were beaten for speaking, my grandmothers for speaking the language, hence that's why I'm learning it anyway. So I was sitting there, and I got this really overwhelming feeling, and I could feel this energy coming in really, really strongly, just bothering me, and then pushing. And it got so intense, and I was sitting there just saying, go away. I'm not giving this message. No, this is not appropriate. Not now. No. But this person was really pushing me, and it almost was like a ganging up energy. And I'd had quite a testing day, so my defenses were down a little bit. I was tired, and I'd shown up to class, and the spirit was just sitting there and pushing me. And in the end, I ended up just saying, "Oh, excuse me," and then I just left class for and just went outside and cleared myself off. And luckily all my classmates are really good friends, or they know the nature of my work, so they kind of, have a sense of what's going on. And also I'm able to, not make too much of a scene, just be able to just excuse myself and go outside for a minute, But I had to go out and just talk to the person on the other side, and then just clear them off. And clear them off, so in response, and also I've had experiences too where in the early days where I did deliver a message, and it's a huge responsibility. I did deliver a message, and it wasn't it was not well received. The person didn't want to hear it, and then I ended up opening a whole can of worms. And the person on the other side had really pushed me, and then the person on the other side had really pushed me, and then the people that I was with had a person. Oh, how am I going to say this? Okay, I'll just take a breath. So the family were wanting, so I was in a situation where I was with some people who were wanting to talk to someone on the other side, and then they wanted to know a whole lot of information about how the person had passed, and then they wanted resolution on a whole lot of things. And I was being pushed from both sides, being pushed by the people here, and then and it wasn't in a, I wasn't in session, I was just hanging out with these people, so I wasn't in a session, and so I was being pushed in all directions to give this message, and then I just felt absolutely squeezed, and my boundaries were being trampled all over, and then I felt pushed into a corner, and then gave the message, and it was not what everyone wanted to hear. And then I ended up, and this is really, really common with, unfortunately, with people that do this kind of work, or don't either, that just are, this way inclined, that are matakite, that do have medium abilities. that they get pushed to deliver the message, and then end up, what is it called, shoot the messenger, end up, with shooting the messenger, and then it's just such a huge responsibility. So hence the importance of having boundaries. Yeah, and you do not have to give the message. You do not. There is absolutely no pressure. You do not have to give the message later on. You do not need to help. It's just like, it's just like being in everyday life. You do not have to help everyone that needs help. It's exactly the same with working with spirit. Anyway, I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking here. Yeah, so sorry, I didn't mean to. I notice when I do that, my kids say to me, "Mum, don't, you just said something really amazing," and then you go and sort of brush it off. But yeah, I just was aware of community here and just wanting to include you all. I'm always asking for those grand gestures or signs. Loving this corridor, Lisa. Yeah, that's what I did. I used to do that all the time until I sort of started to learn that it was it was when I was doing the dishes, or when I was doing the dishes or making the dinner, or in those moments where my brain's not on, I'm sort of in what's that mode called? Mary, you'll know what I'm trying to say. And that automatic mode, that things just, the subtle messages and things just flow through me, and I'm doing something that I love, which is cooking most of the time. And being creative, and sort of in the creative flow, that the messages, the guidance come to me, because I'm sort of semi-relaxed, it's not always in the grand. Fleur, yay! If I can love your mahi, thank you. Yes. Oh my God, I love you. I'm so glad that I'm so glad you're here, my darling friend Fleur. I wished I knew what your name is. Hokianga Tani Whāro. Just let me know your name. They must get a bit hoha with me, always asking for tohu. No, that's the thing. No, they'll be having a laugh, but they won't be hoha. No, honestly, that's what they want. They want you to be asking all the time. Asking all the time. I don't know why I feel like I wanna sing along here. Okay, Natalie, I'm sure it's Natalie Bell in the moment. I experience that as well. My heart always wants to hope the message will help them heal, but sometimes people just get weird with me afterwards. I feel kind of bad. I've got intentions. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, people, I get so many requests every week. Oh, can you just help me with this? Can you just help me with this? And, and people not wanting to, have a session with me, but just wanting help with this and wanting help with that. And I'm like, honestly, yeah, I'd love to, but when I open up, there's a huge level of responsibility, a huge level, a huge energy that's required, and then also the responsibility. And, I say this with kindness in my heart. But if people don't have any skin in the game, if they haven't, if they don't have some skin in the game, and you're suddenly going to open up all of your gift to them, when someone's paid for something, or there's going to be some sort of exchange, they're fully invested. They are fully invested and will listen to your guidance, will listen to whatever the message is that's going to come through, or the healing, or, whatever. And if there's no skin in the game for them, it's much easier for them to disrespect you, or just let that whole, amazing message that you've brought through from their loved ones on the other side, it'll just be discounted, and then all of your energy and all of your, this is exactly the kaupapa, of boundaries and protection and taking care of yourself first, and do I want to bring this message through, and will it be well received? you know, and do they have some skin in the game? Are they going to, you know, are they going to be skeptical? Are they going to believe me? Because at the end of the day, the responsibility falls on you, and you'll be, you know, I've been questioned before, and then I've had things pulled apart and completely misread and completely misread and then pulled apart, because, you know, the person that I've given the message to, because I've thought, well, out of the kindness of my heart, I'm going to do this, it hasn't had any skin in the game, you know. Maybe I can you guys find a better term? Can you guys find a better term for me than that? I think that sounds a bit, I don't know. I think maybe that's what the term is. I don't know. But if you think of something better, just let me know. But yeah, they're not invested, you know, they're not invested. And then it all ends up on you. And then there's just this whole, you know, there's this whole commitment and open kindness. Yeah. And then there's this whole thing that you need to, this whole situation that you need to take care of afterwards. Yeah, no personal investment. Beautiful. Thank you. That's the thing with me. You'd think English was my second language, but I so often speak in energy, and so I find it really hard to find the words. I've always found it really hard to find the English words. That's why I laugh at myself so much, and that's why I'm actually loving today, because you all are helping me with the English words here. No personal investment. Yeah, they just don't. And then you're just left up with this great big situation, you know, to clean up. And, you know, and that's what I've had to do. And then when I learnt boundaries and learned, okay, no, I don't need to help. And is this going to help me? Is this going to put me in a tricky situation? Yeah, I really just have to sit back, and then notice too when my ego's just going, oh, yeah, you know, this is gonna, you know, this, back in the old days, I'm really aware not to now, because it always ends up in a big mess, but when my ego, you know, wants to bring through the messages, or, you know, when I can see the healing that could come, and yeah, and just being able to step back and go, no, okay, I'm just gonna, just hold tight and sit with this for a bit and feel into it. Do I really want to do this, or don't I? You know? Okay, so I'm just going to have some water. Thank you all for being here. This is so amazing. Okay, so okay, now it's really interesting, because I'm just asking Spirit if, yeah, okay, I'm just going to take 5 minutes and bring through, there's quite a few people waiting here, so I'm just going to bring through Maria if she's still there. Please make sure that you're in a sacred space if you're going to, if we're going to bring through your dearly departed loved one. Make sure you're somewhere really quiet, and it's a beautiful sacred space so that I can hear you and bring through the messages. Okay, let's see if she's gone. Okay, she's not there. Okay, interesting. So I do these lives for an hour. We've just gone an hour 5, and it's really interesting, because the last 2 weeks I have been guided more towards teaching and creating community, which is actually, as I said, which is what I really wanted. So yeah, and so exactly the same thing has happened in this session. So any other questions before I go? So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to answer any questions that you may have, and I just want to say thank you all for being here. This has been so amazing. I just went to push the heart button and say thank you, but I can't. Yes, I can. I can put some hearts in. Okay, and if you'd like to book in a session with me, you can go to my website. It's really super easy, and Yeah, I'd love to sit with you. So thank you all so much for being here. I've absolutely loved it. If you want to message me, feel free to, with anything that came up for you during our time together on the live, anything that you experienced, anything that's, you know, anything in relation to our, you know, in relation to our conversation about protection, boundaries, honing your mediumship skills. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Rachel's saying, I appreciate your time. Oh, Emihi Anna. Oh, you guys, I feel really emotional. Thank you so much. You know what? I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this work without you. And this has always been my dream, to be able to create community, because that's what I always wanted. I was always, you know, I searched for years and years for community, somewhere that was safe, you know, somewhere where I felt safe, where I felt understood, where I could see myself, where I could share my own experiences. I could come to know and understand my abilities, and understand why I am the way I am, and why I experience things the way I experience them, you know, in terms of spirit. I always wanted that. So yeah, that's my thing. I really want to be able to create community here. So join me every week, and I'll do my best, and you know, I'll do my best to support you. And yeah, if you want to if you have any questions before the live, message me, you know, and then I can answer your questions. And yeah, we can really get this community going. Community, conversation, relationships. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I'm kia kaha tonu. So my eyes are I'm really welling up, because thank you. And it feels really appropriate to be really emotional, because I spent so much time on my own and alone, walking this walk, and searching for community, and searching for teachers, and searching, and it's been really lonely. And you know, and I still have moments of that, because I just feel so strange sometimes, and so unique about the way I'm so sensitive. Tears are healing. Yeah, tears are healing. I love, yeah, tears are so healing. I often say that tears are like, you know, it's a pressure cooker, you know, like letting tears off. Oh my God, I can't even say the words. So skimming the shit off the top. And I said I wouldn't swear much, but skimming the shit off the top, you know, it's like a pressure cooker. And then, oh my goodness, it's so funny. Spirit always shows me something in the physical. Someone sped past really, really, really loudly, like they're just letting some pressure off, just floored it. Yeah, so skimming, just now I can't even see the screen, but when all the pressure builds up, and then just tears for me are always a good release of, you know, skimming the shit off. And often I find that my face looks better. My face looks better because I've had a wee cry, and then yeah, tears are so healing. Tears are healing, and laughter is healing, and all those things, and dance is healing. So yeah, I just feel really emotional, because yeah, strength is shown when we're able to show tears. Yeah, and I want to be really vulnerable. I want to be right here with you. I want to be right here with you, and vulnerable and real, and you know, and show you my real experience, because you know, I want to be with you. I want to be sitting alongside you. That's what I do in session. That's how I love to do my work. That's how I love to sit with young people as well. Like, be right alongside you, you know, right alongside you, and you right alongside me, because we have so much to learn from each other, you know. So much, so much, and we all have our own unique experiences, and if we can all help in that. Yeah, I'll just read the last of the comments, and then you're a beautiful human being. Thank you. You are never alone. Remember, whatever it is that you need, ask. Yes, Maddie, yes. Yes, Rach, thank you. So true, thank you. You have really helped me tonight. I've gotten the answers I needed. Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm going to cry again. All these tears of happiness. Yay, okay. So please join me again. I'm just getting going. I'm going to get going on YouTube, but mostly on, it's called Twitch. TWITCH, and it's this amazing platform where I'm going to do lives like this, but they're going to be a lot less formal, and I'm going to be just drawing mandalas, and I'm going to be hanging out, and it's going to be kind of a bit more relaxed. I'm getting my son to help me set it all up, and I just want to be able to sit and create even more community. And on that platform, you're able to I'm going to set up a whole lot of emojis, and you're able to create lots more community, much more community, and it's really, really cool. So I'm going to get Twitch set up, so look out for that as well. And I'll be doing a bit on YouTube, but I just want to get set up on Twitch, so that if for some reason I get shadow banned off Instagram, off this platform, that I've got a platform always set up that I can share all of my I was going to say wisdom. That sounds a bit preach, but just everything that comes through, just share the whole lot without being censored. Yeah. So look out for that and join me. And just thank you so much. I love you. It's been amazing. I couldn't do it without you. You guys have made this so amazing. And I'm sending you lots and lots of love. I'm going to send out lots and lots of hearts and big hugs, and go well. And yeah, call on your ancestors, your dearly departed loved ones, and or the fairies or angels or whoever it is that you really have an affinity with, and report back or message me. Okay, lots of love, and bye for now. Oh, my eyes are so blurry.